we are back. We are greeting a brand new month. It is June, the first day of June, because it's the first day of the month. It's also Wednesday. Winnie Wednesday is back. Going to mix things up a little bit. We've been giving away these VIP tickets to the Gateway Cinema here for the last few weeks, but we thought we'd mix it up a little bit. And courtesy of our friends at the Wenatchee Apple Sox, I had a chance to go to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium yesterday to talk to Coach Mitch Darlington and one of the big new strong arms that'll be throwing strikes this year for the Apple Sox. And I was able to finagle tickets. It's not who you know. So I know. These are 4 tickets to any regular season Apple Sox game you want to go to. You're not restricted to any particular date or game. Any of the 28 odd home games that they play, that's a rough guesstimate, I can't remember exactly. This will get you in, and I got 4 of them. So you can, whoever wins these can take 2 and go to a game and save the 2 for a later game, or you can all go as a group of 4 to one game. It doesn't matter to me. Any game, any regular season Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball game, and I got 4 tickets in one package for one winner, and I didn't buy the apple pies yesterday, I forgot. So I'm going to throw in an NCW Life Channel mug, too, just to sweeten the pot a little bit. So you want to win 4 tickets to any regular season Wenatchee Apple Sox game you wish to go to, and an NCW Life Channel mug, collector's item. I might add. Get in your emails. That's how you do it. You email me, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. And you know the rules by now if you're a regular viewer of this show. And for all 9 of you, thanks for doing that. First of all, the employees of Local Telecommunications, solely in broadcasting, and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Austin. Can't win them. Sorry, if you work here, that's just part of the deal. And if you're part of the immediate family, that's just the right thing to do. And I guess that's really it. And if you like baseball, and who doesn't, Apple Sox tickets, 4 of them, for any game you want to go to during the regular season, and we'll throw in an NCW Life Channel mug. Winner@ncwlife.com. Oh, and the other thing, I can't forget about this, 1 entry per email address. If you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once, but you can't enter over and 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 over again on the same email address. We keep track of these things. I'll give you a couple more reminders before the show is over, and we'll do the drawing on Facebook Live a little bit later on. 54 degrees, filtered sunshine, very pleasant morning. Today's looking good. Thursday, for the most part, is looking good. Things are going to change. On Thursday, we're going to see some pretty wet and cool weather for the weekend. Details on the way. It was a busy news day yesterday. East Wenatchee is going to be taking the spotlight on the news, and it's not particularly good. When we get to the news, in the back half of the program, it's one of the biggest swim meets anywhere in the state of Washington, and it's right here in Wenatchee, and it's this weekend. It's back. They didn't have it for a couple of years because of COVID. I'm talking about the Apple Capital Open at the Wenatchee City Pool, hosted by Velocity Swimming. I had a chance to talk to the head coach of Velocity Swimming, Tom Wyllie, and Tom will be my guest in the back half of the program. The swimmers are coming to town. It's not going to feel like summer, but hey, everybody into the pool. All right. Let's take you around the valley, see what we have with our cameras, courtesy of LocalTel's Sky-Fi division. The Wenatchee Heights camera is zoomed out. That's a lot of information in your screen right there. Sun came up at 5:08, just about, 2 hours ago? I know, I saw it. Sunset tonight, 8:50, getting close to that 9 p.m. sunset. That's 15 hours and 42 minutes of daylight. By the way, the Columbia River is, I checked this morning, is 51 degrees as measured at Rocky Reach Dam. That's cold. We'll talk about that a little bit more in detail in just a couple of minutes. Camera number 2. Ooh, beautiful view. That's the monitor camera, I believe, turned to the valley. Is that correct, Uriah? That is. So the monitor camera turned the other direction, we'd see monitor and the fruit trees and all that stuff. But we turn it that direction, we can see a great deal of the Sleepy Hollow area. We can see almost all of the Sleepy Hollow area and the foothills surrounding Wenatchee from the monitor camera. Yesterday's high was 75. Our normal high, 75. So we close out the month of May with a normal day. But for the record, for the month of May, we had 3 days with our afternoon high exactly normal. 3 days with our afternoon high above normal, but not by much, and 25 days in the month that just passed. Our afternoon high was below normal, including a stretch of 20 days in a row when our afternoon high was below normal. Now, the National Weather Service will crunch all the numbers and give us our monthly weather summary for the month of May by the end of the day today. As you know by now, we had the coldest April ever recorded, and the records go back to 1931. How cold was May compared to previous Mays? We'll know by the end of the day, and I'll let you know tomorrow. Camera number 3. Speaking of the mighty Columbia, I think that's the Waterville camera, or is that Hose Landing? That's the Waterville camera. Hello, Aniat. It's good to see you. I've been up top of that ridge. It's high above Aniat. It is a spectacular view. Earthquake Point jumps right out at you. 97A flowing smoothly now that they're done with that slope stabilization project. Looking good. Good morning to the Columbia River and Aniat. The gateway to recreation. Of course, their old town motto was stop here on your way to Chelan and go to the bathroom. And finally, camera number 4. Lake Wenatchee, spectacular, gorgeous picture, postcard, beautiful view of the lake. Kaler Glen jumps right out at you. Fish Lake in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You can see the very beginnings of the Wenatchee River as the Little Wenatchee flows in from the top and on down the road it goes. Still some snow at the top of Dirty Face on the north-facing slope. Beautiful view of Lake Wenatchee on this winning Wednesday. We have one slide to show for you, and this is important because the rivers and the streams are running high, they're running fast, and they are running cold. I already mentioned the Columbia River at Rocky Reach Dam is only 51 degrees, and I checked this morning, the temperature in Lake Chelan is 58 degrees. You jump into Lake Chelan, which, by the way, is pretty much back up to normal now, level-wise. It's cold. It just jumps right out at you. And if you get on a river and a stream and a floating device, you could be in for some serious trouble there. So, and they're going to run high and cold for quite some time. And with the additional cooler temperatures and the rain coming, it won't be abating anytime in the near future. From the National Weather Service, nice, pleasant spring day today. It's going to be pretty much a carbon copy of yesterday. We'll have some sun breaks, but we'll also see some clouds roll in. And we can't rule out a raindrop. 77 for our high, just a couple of degrees above normal. 58 for the overnight low. Partly cloudy on Thursday. As we get deeper into the day on Thursday, we start talking about a chance of rain and maybe a pop-up thunderstorm. Same temperature, right around 76, 77 degrees on Thursday. Thursday night, here comes the system that's going to cool us down and make things very unsettled. We have a chance of rain. We have a chance of thunderstorms. On Thursday night, 56 for the overnight low. Friday, things get really interesting. We have a chance of showers, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. Of course, when you're talking thunderstorms, the downpours can be sudden. It's going to be cloudy. We're not going to see the sunshine on Friday, and a good chance of precipitation. And then all of Washington State is going to get pretty soaked in rain, including us, especially Saturday night and Sunday. We cool down to only about 70 degrees. Overnight lows will be fairly mild because of the cloud cover. But we're looking for, at least me personally, looking for an extended stretch of sunny, mild, pleasant weather, which is almost always the norm this time of the year, and it is not happening. And we got a chance of getting a little wet Friday night at Lee Boftel Field at the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee High School commencement ceremonies. They go on outside. Sun or rain, it doesn't matter, Friday night at 8 o'clock, and we will be televising it here. They don't have to worry about that at Eastmont High School. Their graduation is indoors. All right, 9 minutes after the hour, we'll take a 1-minute break, and then we'll have your headlines on this winning Wednesday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel. Tune in for the commencement ceremonies of the class of 2022 on the NCW Life Channel. Watch Friday, June 3rd for Eastmont High School's graduation at 6 p.m., followed by Wenatchee High School's at 8 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by Caldwell Banker Cascade, Dr. David Parks, DDS, Financial Alternatives, That Pizza Place in Cashmere, Together for Youth, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Walkabout Grill. Celebrate the class of 2022 with your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
Find ageless beauty at Chelan Valley Skincare. Cindy offers the most up-to-date treatments for personalized skincare. If sagging skin or acne scars are some skin challenges for you, Chelan Valley Skincare offers non-invasive, non-surgical skincare. With up-to-date technology for shorter treatment plans, you'll benefit from Cindy's expertise to help you accomplish your skincare goals. Please stop by their website for details on all their services. Call Cindy today for your free consultation.
Filtered sunshine, 53 degrees, mid-70s today, mixture of clouds and sun. But a raindrop or two not out of the question. Chance of rain increases on Thursday. Chance of thunderstorms increases tomorrow. Looks pretty wet for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 11 minutes after the hour. 2 expelled students at Eastmont Junior High reportedly returned to the school yesterday morning, and that led to an extended foot chase throughout the neighborhood and a lockdown of Eastmont Junior High. The pair were taken into custody after being chased by East Wenatchee police officers for about half an hour. East Wenatchee police said one of the boys was armed with a knife designed to be worn on the hand with a metal knuckle grip. Police said the 2 males showed up at the school at about 7:35 in the morning wearing blue bandanas. They ran past staff and were trying to stop them. Police responded and the foot chase ensued. Both boys booked into the Chelan County Juvenile Detention Center on possible charges ranging from first-degree burglary, second-degree burglary, resisting arrest, and third-degree attempted assault. An East Wenatchee student is charged with felony harassment for allegedly making threats online to commit a school shooting. Eastmont School Resource Officer Ivy Jacobson arrested the 14-year-old student on May 23rd after worrisome Instagram messages began circulating amongst the students and staff at Eastmont Junior High. The messages allegedly posted by the student included an image of a handgun and a threat to open fire at the school the following day. Prosecutors charged the student in Douglas County Juvenile Court on Thursday. The youth was released to the care of family members and ordered not to return to the school. The case is due for arraignment on June 15th. A Wenatchee man was charged last week with multiple counts of child abuse. East Wenatchee police say 35-year-old Marcos Antonio de Paz molested an 8-year-old child in his home last year. The child disclosed the allegations of sexual abuse last year, and investigators say de Paz locked a second child in a garage at the same time in order to carry out the alleged abuse. Douglas County prosecutors issued a summons on Friday charging de Paz with first-degree child rape and child molestation, as well as unlawful imprisonment. He must appear in court on June 13th. Unemployment rates have now declined in the Wenatchee Metro Statistical Area for the last 13 months in a row, and the April 2022 reading of a 4.6% unemployment rate was 1 1/10 percentage points less than the 5.7 unemployment rate in April of last year. This April, total non-farm employment netted 2,500 more jobs than the 44,700 jobs that were tallied in April of last year. That's a 5.6% increase. Also, the 2-county Wenatchee MSA economy provided 1,600 more non-farm jobs. That's up 3.5% in April of this year compared to April of last year. That's an indication that the local non-farm market for jobs has rebounded to levels actually above pre-COVID numbers. And when the city of Wenatchee set out to honor its native predecessors with a memorial park monument, only one applicant actually submitted a proposal to design it. But the good news is that applicant is an accomplished one. The Spokane firm called Land Expressions, partnering with artist Hazen Adele. Adele has previously hosted National Geographic programs documenting Indigenous people around the world. The City Council voted on Thursday to designate $10,000 for the initial design. Parks and Recreation Coordinator Dave Erickson explained the project to the City Council.
This project, actually, the genesis of it started back in 2015 when we did a month-long process to update the master plan for Memorial Park. And one of those elements that was included was some sort of a recognition memorial feature of the park at the confluence of the walkways. So if you've been in the park, there's a number of different sidewalks and they all come together at an intersection. And so this would be in that intersection area. So sort of the initial idea was sort of a plaza area, maybe some seating, something like that. So when we went into the 2022 budget process, this project was moved ahead from the original intended time period when we were going to start in 2025. It got moved up to 2022. So here we are going through the design process. So earlier this year, we did a call to artists. We sent it out to over 475 design firms, both the local tribes. We're all over the media, service clubs, social media, promoting that call to artist. From that, we've got one very qualified submittal. Fortunately, it was from a very qualified team, and have done some similar work and some really impressive work around the state. So the next step would be to select this firm, and once they're on board for the next 6 months or so, to then go through an additional public design process to refine that kind of general idea that we have and actually come up with a concept. The goal would be to have that in place by the end of October. So going into budget next year, we would have a better idea what that actual cost is going to be. Construction then would happen in 2023 following the Apple Blossom Festival, with the target date for a dedication of Indigenous Peoples Day of October 9th of 2023. So this has been to the Arts Rec and Park Commission. We talked about it today at Finance Committee, and Arts Rec and Park unanimously recommended the selection of this group.
That's what's making news on this Wednesday morning, the first day of June. We will have a newscast for you, as we always do. Holidays accepted, of course. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10, your chances to watch the news on TV, or as we like to say in the business, television. But don't forget, you can also watch the news via our Facebook page and on our homepage, and they are archived. You can watch the news with Grant Olson anytime you want. And at the bottom of your screen, you can get a hold of us pretty much anytime you want. Except our phone number. We do close the office. We're not here all the time. You can get a hold of us on Facebook, on our Facebook page anyway, our email address, and our homepage. After a break, the Mariners began a 9-game road trip on a big win in Baltimore last night. Highlights of that, and we'll talk about the big Apple Capital Open, the big swim meet in town this weekend when we get to sports, and in the back half of the hour as well. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
You are driven to succeed. This drive is part of who you are, part of your cultura, your valores. With achievement comes a sense of orgullo. It builds your community. You stand on the shoulders of those who have walked before you, the ones who pushed you to succeed. You have the choice to overcome the challenges that arise in your life. You decide your future. Sí se puede.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Just about 19 minutes after the hour in sports, it took 5 starts for George Kirby to finally get his first major league win, but it helps when your team scores a lot of runs. That's exactly what the Mariners did last night at Camden Yards, knocking off Baltimore 10-zip. Kirby struck out 8 over 6 innings. He allowed no runs, 4 hits, just one walk, Meanwhile, Tyler Trammell had a big night at the plate. He went 3 for 4 with a few RBIs to boot.
This is lashed deep towards the new wall in left field, and this bangs off the fence. France pedals to third. He's coming home. Julio throttles down with a double. It's a ribby double for Julio, and 3 batters into the ball game. Julio Rodriguez has put the Mariners in front 1-0. Up the middle, and it kicks away. This brings home Frazier. Meanwhile, Dillamore, he takes a hard turn and stops at third base. Trammell, a headlong slide to second. The Mariners now lead at 2-0. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, he catches a break. See the second baseman playing right up the middle. He was going to make the backhanded play, but it hits the edge of the base and caroms into center field.
Winker shoots this down the line. It's a fair ball in left field. Taylor Trammell comes around to score. Jesse Winker jumps on the first pitch. Now the Mariners have put a 3-spot on the board in this second inning. They lead 4-0. Cal hits this hard through the left side. Frazier is in to score. Dylan Moore scores easily. He sprints across the dish. Cal Raleigh's driven in 3 runs tonight. The Mariners are blowing this one open in the 3rd inning. They just keep on tacking on runs. It's a 7-0 Mariners lead. Into right field, another multi-hit night for Ty France. He drives in the 8th run this evening for the Mariners. And with 2 gone in the top of the 3rd inning, it's an 8-0 Mariners lead. Soft fly. This is dropping, and it gets past Hayes. Dylan Moore scores. Trammell quickly scampers back to first, and the Mariners, it's been a little while. Ever since the 3rd. We're due for another run. It's 9-0 now. Trammell's 3rd RBI tonight. In right field for a base hit. The Mariners will push their 10th run across. Taylor Trammell stands up with a double. He's driven in 4 tonight. 10-0 Mariners. Dylan Moore with the backhand. Tricky throw on target. Plenty of time. And a capper for a Mariners win.
Manager Scott Service happy to see Kirby get his first Major League victory. He was not happy with the move that Julio Rodriguez did, though.
He was outstanding tonight. I thought, the first inning, maybe not the fastball command he's used to having, but after that, he got into it. A real good curveball, good slider. Offensively tonight, we knew they were up against it, kind of in a bullpen game, so it was nice to jump out early. Sometimes in bullpen games can get away from you as the other team starts to get on a roll and they start matching up. So, credit to our guys. But really, the night's about George. He was due for that first win, and it was great to get 6 innings out of him tonight. It sets us up here for the rest of the series, and keep it rolling. Everybody chipped in offensively. Just a good game to start the trip. I wish it was that easy. But no, you have to go out and set the tone in the first inning. And like I said, he wasn't real sharp. And oftentimes starters are most vulnerable in the first inning. But once he got going and got rolling after that, the command came. I thought his secondary pitches were really good today as well. A lot of good sliders, a double play ball and a curveball there early in the game. So did a lot of good things. And we continue to have those learning moments as the game got a little crazy there. Julio learns. He screws up some stuff once in a while, but as he says, he goes, rule of 1, I only screwed up 1 time. So he'll learn from that tonight. Julio had no idea. You cannot draw a line in the dirt. That's automatic ejection. He now knows. He was shocked that he got thrown out of the game. Obviously, we were in a good spot there as far as the score was concerned, but I really wanted to get Ty off his feet, get JP off his feet for a couple innings, get some of the other guys in there, and then before you know it, my catcher's playing second base. So.
By the way, Ty France had another multi-hit game. The Mariners and the Orioles will play again tonight, shortly after 4 o'clock. You can watch it on Root Sports Northwest. All right, to the Les Schwab American League West standings and the scoreboard. Jose Trevino had 3 hits, including a 2-run home run, and that's good for me because he plays for the Yankees. My Yankees beat the Angels. The final was 9-1. Jordan Montgomery gave up a solo home run over 7 innings to earn his first win of the season. Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia each homered in the 3-run 4th inning. That would be all the scoring on the night. Texas blanked Tampa Bay 3-zip. Martin Perez and 2 relievers combined on the 3-hit shutout for the Rangers. Chas McCormick 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs to lead Houston to a 3-1 win over Oakland. So the standings. It is the Astros leading the American League West by 5 games. Houston's win combined with LA's loss. Texas keeps pace at 7 games back, while Seattle remains 10.5 games out of first place. It's not going to feel like summer this weekend, but it doesn't matter. Everybody into the pool. One of the biggest outdoor swim meets in the state is back here in Wenatchee. The Apple Capital Open makes its return after the pandemic. Velocity swim coach Tom Wyllie says the Wenatchee meet is the first of the summer season when they get to go into the big pools.
This is the true Olympic pool, 50 meters long. It's what the Olympians train in. It's what the Olympians race in. It is the premier outdoor 50-meter pool in the entire state of Washington. That's why you have teams from all across the state and elsewhere, like you said, flock to this meet. It's the beginning of what's called the long course season, which means the big pool, the 50-meter pool, compared to in the wintertime we swim at a 25-yard pool. And this is the first test of the long course season for 2022, so teams want to gauge where they're at. This is also a beautiful area to host a swim meet. We get great support from the city, this is the city pool. They manage the pool. They do an amazing job, and so it's a great partnership.
900 competitors coming into town to swim over 3 days, and the coach told me that the whole Velocity family gets together to pull this one off.
It's the Velocity swimming families who actually rise to the occasion and help run the meet, from hospitality for the coaches and the officials and the volunteers, meaning we need to keep them hydrated and keep them fed, to emptying trash cans, to making sure the swimmers get to where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, to running the timing system, to timing the lanes. There's just a whole lot that goes into it. And like I said, without the parents, none of this would be possible.
One big change, though, this year, you won't see all those tents camping out at Pioneer Park. The pandemic changed those plans, but the coach told me it's actually good for the local economy.
A decision that was somewhat forced on us during COVID, but then we discovered how well it actually worked to keep this area relatively calm, if you will, and really dedicated and focused on the swimming. And that also helps increase the economic impact, because instead of camping, they need someplace to stay. They'll be going to the local hotels, eating in the local restaurants. You mentioned pre-COVID, the last numbers I had in the pre-COVID days, the economic impact of this event on the Wenatchee area was nearly $500,000.
The Apple Capital Open, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Wenatchee City Pool. Tom will be my guest in the back half of the program. Those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 28 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today, go barefoot. Go barefoot. There was a time in my early 20s when I almost never wore shoes, except in the coldest days of winter. Two interesting facts about going bare feet. Only 20% of the planet's population wear shoes every day. Only 20%. And going barefoot a lot is good for your back. It's the natural way to do it. And also, if you walk around barefoot all the time, you're very careful about where you step, as you might imagine. So 86 the socks and the shoes, and let your feet get to know each other. It's good for you. National Go Barefoot Day today. On this first day of June, today in history, John Core is one of my all-time favorite people. John Core, a monk, on this date, 527 years ago, June 1st, 1495, records the very first known batch of Scotch whiskey. Scotch whiskey, in order to be called Scotch whiskey, must be made in Scotland. You cannot call it Scotch whiskey if it was not made in Scotland, and all Scotch whiskey by law must be aged in an oak barrel for at least 3 years before it can be bottled. Scotch whiskey is divided into 5 categories. You have your single malt, your single grain, your blended malt, your blended grain, and my favorite, your blended Scotch. Scotch whiskey, invented on this date 527 years ago. Thanks, John. A couple of states submitted to the Union, June 1st, 1792, that make it 230 years ago today. Kentucky admitted to the Union as the 15th state, but it's not a state. It's a commonwealth. Kentucky, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, they refer to themselves as commonwealths, not states, but whatever. It's the bluegrass state. This is a weird stat. Of the War of 1812, more than half of all the American soldiers killed in the War of 1812 were from the state of Kentucky. More than half of the Americans killed in that war were from Kentucky. How many battles in the War of 1812 were fought in Kentucky? None. 0. Why is Kentucky such a hotbed of thoroughbred racing? Because about 200 years ago, most states simply outlawed it. It's a vice, the thoroughbred racing and the racetracks and no. So they all got rid of it, except Kentucky. Kentucky kept it going, and so all the breeders and they all moved to Kentucky. And they kept it going. So not a bad idea there. 4.5 million people live in Kentucky. There are 5.6 million barrels of bourbon in Kentucky. There's more bourbon than people in the Bluegrass State. Happy birthday to Kentucky. Happy birthday to Tennessee. The volunteer state joined the Union on this date in 1796. That would make it the 16th state. It is the volunteer state. You see the Tennessee state flag. It represents the three grand divisions of Tennessee: East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, West Tennessee, and then the circle that you see around those three stars represent the unification of Tennessee. Tennessee has 9 official state songs. For a music buff, 9. That's 8 too many. One's fine. Tennessee was the last state to leave the Union leading up to the Civil War, and they were the first state to be readmitted to the Union after the Civil War. And the most visited national park in this country by far, not even close, is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. They get 10 million visitors a year. That's twice more than either the Grand Canyon, Yosemite, or even Yellowstone. Happy birthday, Tennessee. June 1st, 1925, 97 years ago today, in the bottom of the 8th inning, Lou Gehrig pinch hits for Pee Wee Waniger, and that began his streak of 2,130 consecutive games played. It wasn't until the next day when he broke into the starting lineup, replacing Wally Pipp. So the legend was always that he started his streak by replacing Wally Pipp at first base. He actually pinch hit the day before, and that is when the streak started. June 1st, 1950, 72 years ago today, the largest wildfire in North American history began in the hinterlands in the middle of nowhere, where British Columbia and Alberta meet in the north part of those provinces. It was called the Chinchaga Fire. It started burning on this date in 1950. It didn't stop burning until November. 2,200,000 acres. That comes out to 6,250 square miles. That's the equivalent of Okanagan and Chelan County together burning, all of it. That's how big this fire was. The smoke kept drifting over to the east, and people didn't know what the heck was going on. Why did they let it burn? Because nobody lived there. Nobody was killed. It's just a massive wildfire, but if you're going to have a massive wildfire, you want to have it out in the middle of nowhere. Biggest fire in North American history. Started on this date 72 years ago today. 55 years ago today, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is released into the United States. I looked last night. I have 6 vinyl copies, 2 CDs, and 1 copy on reel-to-reel. Yes, I've played it a few times. Considered one of the best albums of any genre ever. Sgt. Pepper. You could go buy one on this date, 1967. And June 1st, 1979, 43 years ago today, the Seattle Supersonics defeat the Washington Bullets 97-93 to win the NBA championship. 43 years ago today, here's how it came down.
Unseld inbound. Start the countdown. Ballard off with the shot. Sonics control from the corner.
I don't even have to come in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the celebration begin in Seattle. It is over. The Seattle Supersonics have won the NBA World Championship Series in 5 games, beating the Washington Bullets 97-93. But listen to the crowd in Landover.
The series lasted just 5 games. The Sonics lost game 1, and then they won 4 in a row to win the championship. So it only lasted 5 games, but it took them 11 days to play it because CBS, who had the broadcast rights, got the exclusive choice of when and where the games would be played. They wanted to stretch it out as long as possible, and they did. Sonics win it all. Birthdays. Brigham Young had 55 wives. Brigham Young, born in the state in 1801. Frank Morgan from The Wizard of Oz, born in this state in 1890. He played in order Professor Marvel, the gatekeeper, the carriage driver, the guard, and the Wizard of Oz in The Wizard of Oz. Frank Morgan, born in the state in 1890. Andy Griffith, born in the state in 1926. He starred in 5 prime-time television shows. Andy Griffith was never once even nominated for an Emmy Award. That is almost impossible to believe. He not only never won an Emmy Award, he was never even nominated. Born on this date in 1926, Marilyn Monroe. Born on this date in 1926, an American icon. Morgan Freeman is 85 years old today. $1 Million Baby. He won the Academy Award in that. Street Smart, Driving Miss Daisy, The Shawshank Redemption. On down the line. Happy birthday to Morgan Freeman. Ronnie Wood is 75. Happy birthday, Ronnie. Somebody needs to tell him. Heidi Klum, the supermodel, is 49. The only reason I'm bringing it up is it gives me an excuse to throw a picture up on my television show. And Brandi Carlile, a great musician, great songwriter, going strong at 41. Great music, Brandi. Keep it up. 35 minutes after the hour, it's Winning Wednesday. I'll let you know what's up for grabs a little bit later on and how you enter. We have an opinion from my Mad Dog Minotti coming up, and then my conversation with the head coach of Velocity Swimming, the big Apple Capital Open this weekend. My visit with Tom coming up too. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Brian's Pizza and Bowling is changing their name to That Pizza Place. Now, there's still your same favorite locally owned family pizza and bowling center, That Pizza Place. Come hang out in downtown Cashmere.
The NCW Life Channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life Channel today.
Summertime is almost here, and that means that Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is right around the corner. Come spend your summer nights at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium and root on the Apple Sox. Apple Sox baseball is family-friendly and affordable, with tickets starting as low as $7. Come on out to opening day on June 6th, sponsored by Ag Supply, as the Apple Sox open up a 7-game homestand to begin the summer. Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball, celebrating summer one inning at a time.
Okay, this is Mike, Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I do relationship counseling, and one thing I always ask couples when they come into my office, I say this: do you like your partner? No, I don't ask if they love them. You know, people would say they love someone even if they just tolerate them. Now, what I want to know is, do you like the person you're in a relationship with? Do you enjoy their company? Do you admire and respect them as an individual? Do you like talking and spending time with them? No, this is honestly sometimes an eye-opening question for folks. Sure, I love my wife, Rosie, but I like her too. She's nice. You'd like her. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has hot tubs in stock now. Spas are scientifically proven to improve sleep and ease arthritis pain. Let us help you find the perfect spa today. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa is helping families reconnect, one hot tub at a time.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you. 9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön. I'm here at Boswell's Home Furnishings to announce one of their newest lines of furniture, Builtwell, an amazing local furniture maker in Oregon.
Hi, can I help you?
I was just telling my friends.
About Builtwell? They have exquisite craftsmanship, superior construction. I love their designs. Builtwell is a great addition to the wide selection of quality furniture you'll find here at Boswell's.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from LocalTel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from LocalTel lets you decide when shows begin.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included. How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care. Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a athletic tradition that's been going on for a long time returns here to the Wenatchee City's pool. The Velocity Swim Club hosting the annual Apple Capital Open. This place will be packed with 900 swimmers from all over the state and elsewhere. Swimming right here in this outstanding facility. Tom, introduce yourself to our television family.
Sure. Hi, I'm Tom Wyllie. I'm the head coach of Velocity Swimming.
And you're new to the gig, correct?
Yeah, I am new to the gig. I started in October from Michigan. I've been a long-time swim coach in Michigan, and a unique opportunity opened up to come out west to the Pacific Northwest, to Wenatchee, to the Valley, and it so far worked out great.
And you're inheriting a program that has been wildly successful in this 40 plus years of being in existence.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's got a strong tradition of strong swimming in central Washington and actually throughout what's called the Western Zone.
Why is that? How can you account for that? Why is it so successful?
Well, I think over the years they've had very dedicated coaching staff. And they've got very committed families. And a team like this requires a lot of support from the families. They really are what makes this program run. And then you've got a lot of kids who are very athletic and very gifted in terms of, how hard do they want to push themselves? How, they rise up to a challenge like that. And then I think the internal competition amongst each other too is also what helps everybody rise to the top. And facilities. And you got to have something like this to not only hold your meets, but to practice and put a team. Oh yeah, this is an amazing facility. I mean, this is, being outdoors, being in a 50-meter pool, this is what people call the Olympic-sized pool. When you hear people talk about, yes, an Olympic pool. Yeah, this is the true Olympic pool. 50 meters long, it's what the Olympians train in, it's what the Olympians race in. It is the premier outdoor 50-meter pool in the entire state of Washington. That's why you have teams from all across the state and elsewhere, like you said, flock to this meet. It's the beginning of what's called the long course season, which means the big pool, the 50-meter pool, compared to in the wintertime we swim at a 25-yard pool. And this is this is the first test of the long course season for 2022, so teams want to gauge where they're at. This is also a beautiful area to host a swim meet. We get great support from the city, this is the city pool. They manage the pool. They do an amazing job, and so it's a great partnership.
And there's a huge difference between having 8 lanes and 10 lanes, isn't it?
Oh,
that makes all the
huge.
difference in the world,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
huge. Because then, as a coach for practices, I can really differentiate. Having 10 lanes, I can differentiate practices for our distance swimmers, our novice swimmers, our stroke swimmers, and then for a swim meet, you can churn through a lot of folks in a 10-lane pool versus an 8-lane pool.
There are cities twice or 3 times the size of Wenatchee that don't have anything like this.
No, absolutely.
I think this and Walla Walla are the only 2 towns, even in eastern Washington, that have comparable pools, right?
So, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
yes, and I mean exactly like you said. This is a gem to have here. It allows us to be competitive with the bigger cities and the bigger pools because we've got the facility to train.
You mentioned in the wintertime you guys are doing the indoor pool, which is only 25 yards long.
Right.
So when the kids make the adjustment to a 50-meter pool, they're swimming down in their lane, and are they going, am I ever going to get to the other end?
That's exactly right. I actually was a competitive swimmer, and I remember the first time I actually swam in a long course pool, and it was like, where's the end of this pool? When's it going to get here? And then as you get closer to the end, you no longer feel like you're swimming in water. You feel like you're swimming in syrup because you're just so tired. And right now, I mean, we are making that transition from the short course season to the long course season. And so we've begun to swim outdoors here and practice out here already, and you're already seeing a lot of that. But it allows for more swimming. Interesting, Europe, they practice in meter pools, and so they tease the Americans a lot because in the wintertime we swim in the 25-yard pool and it's like, oh, you guys just train in a bathtub. You don't know what swimming is really all about. True swimming is long course swimming. So we're in the true swimming season. And like I said earlier, the Apple Capital meet is one of the first, if not the first, long course meets of the season. So it is interesting to see the transition because most teams are coming right out of their short course season into the long course season, and it's a way to gauge where am I at right now at the beginning of the season in long course, and it can be used as a base to compare their performance this week to what it might be in August at the end of the season.
Exactly how many swimmers are you expecting Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Up to 900.
900, and they come from everywhere?
Yeah, they come from all over. All over the state of Washington. We'll have teams from Oregon. We'll have teams from Idaho. I know some teams from Alaska have inquired in the past, so it's a big deal.
900 swimmers, I'm guessing close to that many volunteers and people helping out to put this thing on. It's got to be a huge endeavor.
Yeah, it's a huge endeavor. And like I said, our families step up. It's the Velocity swimming families who actually rise to the occasion and help run the meet, from hospitality for the coaches and the officials and the volunteers, meaning we need to keep them hydrated and keep them fed, to emptying trash cans, to making sure the swimmers get to where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, to running the timing system, to timing the lanes. There's just a whole lot that goes into it. And like I said, without the parents, none of this would be possible.
I came here in the last pre-COVID Apple Capital swim meet in 2019, and it's an amazing sporting event in that it just keeps going. I mean, from 7 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night, there's constant swimming going on. There's no real downtime, and I like that. I find that very entertaining.
Yeah, it is. It is. Once it's sort of like, you set up this big long set of dominoes, and you hit the one domino, and then it all falls into place. And the swimming races, one right after the other, and that's because as the first in premier outdoor 50-meter event of the season, we want to give the swimmers the opportunity to swim the majority, if not all, of the events that are possible to swim at a swim meet, which means we just have to keep it going one right after the other. And from a spectator standpoint, there's no downtime. There's a lot to view, a lot to watch, and a lot to see what's going on.
And we talked about the facilities. It's got lights, it's got covered stands so people don't get a sunburn. You got a PA system, and the diving area is used as a little warm-up area, isn't it? So you have that little advantage as well.
Right, that's the other thing. The swimmers, coaches want your swimmers to warm up before their events, literally warm up their bodies to get ready for their race. And so we have the diving area that allows the swimmers to do that. And then after their race, they're all, geeked up from the race, and we want them to slowly bring their physiology back to normal. And they do that by coming over to the diving well and doing what we call either warming down or cooling down.
One of the things that is a staple of the Apple Capital swim meet, again, this is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Wenatchee City Pool, is going to be happening this year. That is the sea of tents that you normally see out there in Pioneer Park with the families and the swimmers tenting out there for 3 days. They're actually going to be staying in local hotels, and my guess is the folks at the City Parks and Rec are probably pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I think so. That was a decision that was somewhat forced on us during COVID, but then we discovered how well it actually worked to keep this area relatively calm, if you will, and really dedicated and focused on the swimming. And that also helps increase the economic impact, because instead of camping, they need someplace to stay. They'll be going to the local hotels, eating in the local restaurants. You mentioned pre-COVID, the last numbers I had, in the pre-COVID days, the economic impact of this event on the Wenatchee area was nearly $500,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not very smart, but even I know that's a lot of money. How do kids get involved in velocity? Maybe we've planted that seed.
Yeah,
how does one go about being a part of your club?
Well, one of the things they can do is go to our website. If you search Velocity Swimming, it'll pop up as the first website. There's a whole bunch of information on there. There's a telephone number that they can call. And if they have an interest, whether they send an email through the email system on the website or make a call on the telephone call, step number one is to do an evaluation. Traditionally, we call it a tryout. There's no tryout per se. You have to know how to swim, but you don't have to be very good. We'll accept anybody and everybody who's willing to make the commitment to a competitive swim team. And we just want to do an evaluation to make sure we get you in the right practice group based on your current level of ability.
And my experience has been, once you're a swimmer, you're always a swimmer.
So yeah, I can't believe it. I was just figuring this out the other day. I've been involved in this sport for over half a century. Started out as a competitive swimmer, fell in love with the sport, and ended up starting my coaching career as a senior in high school. That's how I put myself through college. I started a family. All my kids, I have 3 kids, they were all swimmers, so I have experience as a swimming parent, and then back to as a swim coach again. So, and I'm still here. I still love it. I think it's the greatest sport around. It's also something that kids can do for a lifetime. So, once their competitive swimming days are over, they can come to a wonderful facility like this and get some lap swimming in, get some exercise. It's a lifetime skill.
A couple more questions for you, then we'll cut you loose. The Michael Phelps phenomenon, did that grow competitive swimming in this country and in this area? I know you were in Michigan when all this was going on, but did you see a sudden surge in the interest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
That kind of impact. He became, a lot of times, swimming is a unique sport in that every 4 years it gets some attention because that's the Olympic cycle. And usually in between 4 years, it dies down. Michael Phelps changed all that. He came on the scene, they call him the GOAT, greatest of all time. And he really changed. He became a athletic celebrity, every year round. And that just really opened a lot of people's eyes in terms of, oh, maybe that's a sport I could do. Maybe that's a sport I could do well. I also think it attracted the kids that are athletically gifted to the sport of swimming. Very athletically gifted youth have their pick of sports, and swimming really wasn't high on the radar until Michael Phelps.
I'll leave you with this. Let's wrap it up where we began. Let's talk about parents. Mm-hmm. The commitment that the parents have brought into this is really the key to all of this, because every kid who's going to be swimming here as part of the Velocity swim team, their parents are going to be here helping out, volunteering, organizing, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. No parents, no swim team really.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is a parent-run swim team. There's a board of directors. It's a not-for-profit organization. The board of directors is elected by the parents. I report to the board of directors. It is all about the kids. I mean, we are Don't get me wrong, we want to be the premier competitive swim team, which means we like to race, we like to go fast, we like to earn medals, we like to get ribbons. If there's trophies involved, we want to go for those. But there are a lot of life lessons that are involved in athletics and in the sport of swimming in particular, from commitment to discipline to training to teamwork, etc. And kind of to wrap it up, is we're one giant family. So we're one giant family comprised of families that support velocity swimming.
Who knows, if you want to drop by the Wenatchee City Pool this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the Apple Capital Open, you might see the next Michael Phelps in this very pool. You never know. Everybody has to start somewhere.
That's right.
Dave, when is the pool open for the general public? Dave Erickson's off camera.
June 11th.
June 11th. Dave looks good. He just had the bolts tightened in his neck. So he's in a good mood. June 11th, you can anybody in the area can come and take a dip. And don't forget, if you live in the city of Wenatchee, you can swim in this pool during the open swims for almost nothing or buy a season's pass. It's a great deal. Swimming's a great exercise. Tom, it's good to see you, my friend. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very
You're
much.
watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Attention RVers and campers! There's a huge RV liquidation event going on now at Click It RV of Moses Lake. Click It RV of Moses Lake must make room for new inventory arriving daily. There's a huge selection of top quality RVs that must be liquidated to make room for new arrivals.
You're going to want to be at this event.
Get to Click It RV Moses Lake's huge liquidation event.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro? You probably already are.
Get the best deals anywhere at Click It RV of Moses Lake.
We guarantee it.
Things have changed in the motorsports industry. Short supply and high demand have emptied showrooms. But what hasn't changed are the experts at Doghouse Motorsports. They are here to help you reserve the machine of your choice. Stop by and check out the latest 2022 Husqvarna motorcycles, Ubco, and Intense electric vehicles, and other new additions to the Doghouse Motorsports family of high-quality products.
Over the last year and a half, the industry's absolutely changed, but the Doghouse is still your best option for all your power sports needs.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Winning Wednesday returns because, well, it's Wednesday. And mixing things up a little bit. This week we have four tickets to any Wenatchee Apple Sox game you want to go to. Any Apple Sox game this summer. Their home opener is Monday, June 6th. Any game you want to go to. And I got 4 tickets, and there's only going to be one winner, so you can take 2 tickets and go to a game and then save the other 2 and go to a later game. You can take all 4 and go to one game. No matter to me. It's whatever the winner wants to do, and an additional prize, because I'm in a good mood, we'll throw in an NCW Life Channel mug. So 4 tickets to any Apple Sox game you want to go to, regular season game, and there's a lot of them at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, and a mug. Winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com. You enter via email. That's how you enter. You email me, winner at ncwlife.com. We'll do the drawing on Facebook Live sometime in the noon hour. Give or take a couple. From the National Weather Service, we're going to repeat Tuesday, kind of like what we had yesterday. Is going to happen again today. Going to see some sun with some clouds mixed in. We'll top off right around 77. We hit 75 yesterday to wrap up May. 58 for the overnight low tonight. The cloud cover is going to keep us pretty mild. Mixture of clouds and sun on Thursday. Chance of rain, though, starts picking up. Sorry. Again, highs in the mid-70s. Friday is when things really get crazy. Again, rain possible, thunderstorms possible, cooler, and then everybody is going to get rain on Saturday, especially Sunday, and spilling right on into Monday. That is it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.